Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to I'm Developer.live. I'm flying solo today. Uh, my awesome guest, Erin Mikhail Staples, she lost her voice this morning, so basically, it would have been torture to bring her on. So we definitely decided to reschedule. So Yeah, so we were going to talk about open source data labeling and why it's important, but we'll get to that on another stream. Um, yeah, so today I think I'm just going to spend about an hour just going to work on my blog. And I've been migrating it from 11D to Astro. So I think that's pretty much what I'm just going to mess around with. And, if folks want to chat too, that's cool too. That's pretty much it. Okay, so let's see here. Just checking my GitHub real quick here. Okay. Just gotta put a notification out on socials. Right. I'm one of the lucky ones that is on Blue Sky, so I'm just dropping a link there to you for folks to come hang. All right, that's all good. Live there. Nice. Okay, live pretty much everywhere. Hey, what's going on, Takanome? Good to see you, man. Um, yeah, no, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly, but is it Takanome? Um, anyways, Takanome is in the open source Discord and has been working on open source, the insights, and I think the other parts of the platform. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for coming to hang, my man. Yeah, so let's just switch over to pairing view for a sec here. Not really pairing, but it's the view I use when I'm working on stuff. No, we don't need to see LinkedIn. All right, so I can kind of that's Next.js work for work. Let's go to my new blog here. Okay, so yeah, let's open up that, and I'm gonna zoom that in a bit. And I'm just gonna kind of go through what I've been kind of up to in my blog. I'm just gonna get a link to the repo, and I'm gonna drop that in the chat for anyone interested. For anyone interested, um, working out of this repo. Okay, cool. Yeah, good to know I got your name correctly, Takanome. It's a cool name too, by the way. All right, that's that. So that's the repo, and I'll kind of show you some stuff that's missing and so on. So like, let's open up the live. This is the one I'm working on, and let's split this. Let's go imdeveloper.com. Oh, I've got some weird bug. This happens every now and then, and I don't really know why yet. I gotta look into it. And of course, it's happening right now. Let's try that again. Let's split this again. It's related to the service worker for some reason, but let me just clear up some things here. Let's go to the application tab, storage. Let's clear everything, refresh. Yeah, I think it is related to the service worker. Okay, cool. That's all good. Let me just get back to the chat here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Cool. All right, so they look slightly different, but so the one on the right here, this is my live site. So for example, everything here is about the same. There's a few differences. Like this is some changes I made recently on the right for my actual live blog. So I've got like latest talks I added in there. That's the only new section. I need to bring that over to the repo I'm in the process of migrating to Astro in. But there's some other things. So like say I go to one of my blog posts, I'm going to try and find one where I have a lot of embeds, and I'll kind of explain the whole embed. So let's find a good one here. Yeah, it's got one embed. No, no, not that one. Um, Let me find a good one. I'll go to, this is a popular blog post of mine. I'm going to load this one up and I'm going to show you the differences, or there should be differences at least. Okay. Oops. Okay, so they look about the same. There's some spacing difference, which I should probably look at, but I'm not too concerned about that. I actually like it on the left with less space. But um, let's take a peek here. So like on the right where I'm scrolling right now, this has got all the embeds you can see here. And if I go on the left, you're going to see it's not the same thing. So like, let's look at the first one here. Is that it? JavaScript. Okay. Yeah, let's start here. So these are, the right one is the live one, and you're going to see, so like I've got this YouTube embed here. But on the left, which is the Astro site, it's got, if I zoom this in a bit, you're going to see it's got this, this code, this bit of text in there. And what that is so like to give, um, kind of explanation what's going on here. So I use Dev2 as my kind of headless CMS. So if I come over to Dev2 for a sec, and I'll find this, actually, let me get the exact URL, open a new tab. Let's go there. So here it is on Dev2, and you're going to see there's that YouTube embed there. I'm not going to really zoom in here because it doesn't really matter what you see for the content right now, but it's just, you can see the embeds there. And these are the same embeds that I have in my blog posts on my site. And when you come into the editor, I'll zoom this in because this will be more helpful. Um, Dev2, it's a Rails monolith, and under the hood, it's also using liquid tags, which are something that Shopify created. And that's what these are here. So like you can see here, I've got a YouTube, which is a liquid tag that the Dev2 website supports, and I'm passing in my YouTube ID here. And when I go to preview it, and I scroll down here, you're going to see that YouTube embed here in a second, right there. So that's what's happening on Dev2. Now, the thing is, because I pull these things in, I pull in the blog post into my own website. Oh, hey, how's it going, Parasocial Fix? Yeah, Astro's treating me pretty good so far. It's not live yet. Hey, what's up, Todd? I'm enjoying working with Astro Parasocial Fix. It's kind of funny. What happened was it was a Friday night, one night, and like I forget when strongly typed content collections came out in Astro. I think it's like a month or a month and a half ago, and I was like, okay, because I work on the frameworks team at Netlify. I'm like, okay, let me read up on this, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And so then I was like, okay, let me try it out. So I basically pulled in like I just basically copied the blog post I have in my current website into a bare bones Astro site. I put the content collections in, and then I configured the schema there because just to make it strongly typed. And then I discovered some things were missing or some were optional. So I configured Zod, which is what it uses under the hood, and got that all running. And then I was just like, because I haven't really prior to this, I hadn't used Astro aside from I did a stream with Dan Jutan, and I'd done one, maybe two streams with Ben Holmes. I definitely did one with him. I think the other stream I did with Ben Holmes was when he was working on Slinkity, which is a plugin for 11D. But Anyways, all I'd say is I was like, okay, let me try bringing in something else because like in 11D they use well at least what I'm using in 11D it's nunchuck templates, and it looks more kind of handlebars ish if you've ever done that. Basically, kind of looks like what you see here for the liquid tag. Kind of it, this is a liquid tag, but it's got the the squiggly percentage in terms of like creating includes and all that stuff and accessing variables and uh, there's no knock against 11D here. 11D is amazing. It's still what's running my blog and my website. I mean, um, I again was just I kind of got nerd sniped once I started looking at the content collection stuff, and then I just started trying to do other stuff that was in my blog to pull it over just to see like like how hard is it to convert like a couple nunchuck templates to Astro and I'm still using Astro in a static sense. I'm not using SSR. There's nothing edge going on right now. It's strictly build time, generates all the static content, and that's it. And one of the things that I actually found pretty interesting is because I'm a big fan of Preact, and so at some point I haven't got there yet, but I was like, I'll put in Preact, and I'll use that for the islands in Astro, or I might even look at Solid. We'll see, because just as somebody on the frameworks, I'm curious. But Preact, I'm super comfortable with. Been using it for a long time. But when I started doing this migration to Astro, uh, basically I just started converting all those nunchuck templates to Astro components and I'll just show that. I know you're familiar with Astro components, parasocial fix, but like for others, so like if I look for an .astro, so let's see here. Let's look at my YouTube one. Um, so there's, I don't know. I think one of the things with Astro is I found it very, I don't want to say easy, but like I felt super comfortable in it right away. And part of that is yes, I am comfortable with being comfortable with vanilla JavaScript forever, but I like the single component. You've got your code fences here, and then you put all your JS there. And I don't know if that collapse. Oh yeah, nice. I guess Nate configured it so you can collapse the code fences. And then aside from that, you've just got whatever you want to put into the actual component. And hey, how's it going, Taos? Good to see you, Tony. Yeah, it's I'm more and more like loving Astro, and I was talking to Ryan Carnado, who's my coworker. I don't really who I most of you probably know from Solid.js. He's the creator of it, but it's kind of funny because like even though I don't work with him directly, he's on a different team, but it's kind of funny. Hey, how's it going, Alex? Uh, I've spoken to him twice. Like we had like a one-on-one when he started working at Netlify. We had like a good hour chat, and then I've been super busy on frameworks, and he's been busy with Solid and all the stuff he does. And then I got a chance to. We had like a good hour-long talk a few weeks ago, and um, he goes into more depth on his own streams there, which I think are amazing streams. The thing is, I can't watch like a 4 hour stream. I don't have it in me, so I usually catch about an hour of his streams, but they're really good. Um, but when I was talking to him, and he kind of talked about this when he had Tanner Lindsley on the stream, but they're kind of all in on Astro, and then using Islands architecture and bling and all that. That's kind of the way they're looking to go. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Like the thing I wanted to get back to about Astro and hey Brandon, how you doing, man? Is I felt super comfortable in it right away, and all I've been doing is writing Astro components so far. Like, and when I was speaking to Ryan, he was saying, yeah, no, like that's like the right approach. And then obviously when you need interactivity, that's when you go the islands route. But like I've gotten super far with really just Astro components, and that's why I'm still in the middle of it uses. Oh yeah, I gotta look at that YouTube light embed. I remember hearing about that. I'm just using an iframe right now. I should update that. That's the nice thing of having components encapsulating this stuff too. Um, but yeah, it's just it feels super comfortable, and it's not JSX. It's an Astro file, so like it really just feels more like single file component with regular HTML and some syntax, obviously. But I mean, because JSX is HTML like, but obviously they usually go with the camel case for the like the props and stuff. And here you can use just the straight up props, I believe. I haven't checked. Yeah, I'm using class here, for example. So, it just feels more like, hey, if you know JavaScript, you know HTML, you know CSS, I'm just feeling super comfortable right away. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Parasocial Fix. Yeah, so I am and I have some MDX in here right now. Like if I open up here, so I started off with I have MDX, and this is the first time I'm actually using MDX. Uh, I feel like a dinosaur. I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that hasn't tried MDX, but I pop some in here, and this works fine, and this loads the page. So like this is my about page. So if I come back to let's see here, if I come back here, the left one is the Astro one. So if I load the about page, this is the MDX file, and it's loading just like my existing about on the right here. Again, the sizing and stuff's different. There's some CSS I probably didn't bring over, but it does. Oh no, it's because I'm zoomed in. That's why. If I go back, yeah, no, it's the same thing. Okay, cool. And the MDX is working fine. The problem I ran into was if I come to yeah, back to the problem I was saying here, where if I come back to that blog post in here, and I come back here. So on the right is the current site with 11D, like I said, and you can see my embeds here. So I've got the YouTube video there. If I come back on the left here, again, like I was saying, you've got this here, which in 11D land is called a short code. I'm pulling my content in from dev2, and like I said, that's a liquid tag in Rails land. So what I do in 11D is I treat those liquid tags like short codes, and then that's how I basically rewrote kind of some of the logic that the dev2 site does for some of the embeds in my own site. But now that I'm in Astroland, I pulled in MDX, so I was like, okay, that's all good. But if I load these now, it's like there's a few approaches I could take. So like right now, like when I pull in the dev2 blog posts, I sanitize them, I do a few things to them. So I could technically go like, okay, I found this liquid tag, I can convert it to a component directly. Um, you know, I'm I might do that still, but when I had Dan Jutan on the stream, who funny he left, just kind of said, "Hey, can I come on your stream one day?" Because I had a cancellation. Somebody was sick again. It happens. And he was telling me about MarkDoc, like you're mentioning, Parasocial Fix, and so I took a peek at that, and I started integrating that, and that for me, I think might be a better fit just based on what I'm currently doing. So like if I look at what are they called? MDoc files? Is that it? Yeah. So I've converted my blog posts I just renamed them from MD for Markdown to MDoc for MarkDoc. And then the only thing I had to do is like if I zoom this in, just so folks can see. So currently on my like existing site, this is what it looks like. And this is the liquid tag. I treat it different. Well, actually, no, it doesn't look like this at all. This is what it looks like right now when it's running in 11D. So my short code will be able to process this. So I integrated the MarkDoc plugin for Astro, and then I ran it, and then all of a sudden I got some errors, and then it's like it was talking about the closing tag and stuff. So then I was like, okay, I'll add. Let me go back. I go, okay, I'll add the closing tag, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the props, or I forget what they call them, they're undefined. So then I realized, okay, I have to add in, a property as well. So I'm doing a slight treatment to my dev2 posts that I pull in now so that they'll be transformed into this. This is an example of the Twitter one, but I have various ones. And basically what I've been able to do, I gotta see, where is that? I got my components, YouTube, embed. I think it's this one. I've got two YouTubes at the moment that I've got to change, but okay, yeah. So what I'm doing is, I'm using MarkDoc. This is okay. This embed is called embed. It's a terrible name, but Dev2 has an embed just called embed, and so I just happen to call it embed. I should rename that, but basically what I'm able to do is all the functions I had in my short codes, I can still use them. And then what I'm just doing is I'm just doing fragment, and I'm setting the HTML to the rendered markup for what I currently generate. And so I think I might go with this for like the first pass. Maybe I'll stay with it. But that's how I've kind of integrated things. So like if I come to this embed, so you see here, so let's start up at the top here. Okay, this has got a bunch of things. So this embed is actually a bigger uh, project because it's pulling in all the things that I might use. So to give some context, Dev2 still supports these, but they have like a YouTube embed, a Twitter embed, Instagram, Twitch, etc. But then at one point, uh, it's kind of like, why always create all these different embeds? So now there's this generic embed, and then it based on the URL you pass in Dev2 when you're creating your blog post, it can detect. So like if it finds, like www.youtube.com or equivalent URLs related to YouTube, it knows to render an embedded YouTube video. And so basically, this is my embed. I definitely got to rename this. I should just call it embed maybe, or anyways. But I'm pulling in like the logic for all these things. So like I have Twitter embeds, I have boost links, which are something else. The boost links are actually this. If these links up here where it says boost on dev, tweet it. I'll probably have to add a blue sky it at some point. But yeah, so for now, the path of least resistance for me was to go with these embeds and using MarkDoc, because I pulled in my short codes and I was able to use them right away. I'm not sure. I think the other thing too with MDX is, I can't remember if there's other issues I had. That was the main one. But again, like I could stick to MDX and then like say if I come back to, where's that file here? Like if I were to make this MDX, then I could literally just probably convert this to like, this, and then tweet ID equals that, you know, do that. I could probably do that too. Uh, I'm not really sure what's better. At the end of the day, these things are auto-generated. Like when I pull in my blog post, so like it's not like I'm working with these components all the time. The advantage to it being an actual component, though, like an Astro component, is I could use it elsewhere too. But at the same time, I think I can still do that with my with the ones that are actually where did it go? Like the Twitter embed here. Even the ones that use MarkDoc, it's still an Astro component, so I probably could still use it. So I don't know. I've been kind of testing the two approaches, and I'm trying to see why Houston's so sad, so sad here. I'm not sure why. You okay, Houston? Um, so, anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, like most of the stuff, like other things, so like I was able to pull in. Um, I'm a fan of the scope style and using it at the component level, but I was using in my 11D site basically Andy Bell, who's a fantastic web dev and designer. Yeah, he has this template called the Hylia template. I took that originally. So like if we come back here, template, that's not it. Studio Hylia, is this it? So you can see it's do they have the demo site here? I don't want to. Oh yeah, here you go. So this is the Hylia site. So like if I drag this in, actually, hold on a sec here. Let's come over here. And if you're wondering how I'm able to do that, I'm using the Arc browser. They have this cool feature where you can kind of split things. It seems pretty obvious that you should be able to do that in other browsers, but it's why I'm liking the Arc browser a lot. There's just a lot of like user experience stuff that they nail it for me. All the pain points I had with browsers, but anyways, getting back to my point though, so this is the Hylia template on the left here, and this is my actual site on the right. So I've done some things like, and I definitely 100%, give credit to Andy, because I don't know about others. Even though I've done a ton of front end, I'm terrible at design. I'm the person that takes like 2-3 days to figure out if this font's gonna look good or not. So I basically went with his template. I've changed some things over time. Like another fun thing I added is like, I have an alpaca in my stream, so if you stretch it out a little further, so I've made some slight changes. Like there's all these icons here for my socials and stuff, but the majority of the project of my template really is Andy's work, and um, it's a great template. Andy's using Sass in there, so there's this large Sass file that generates all the CSS. Um, I'm not about to rewrite that right now, so I pulled that in, and that's another nice thing about Astro. So if I come to, is it my layout? Is it here? Yeah. So I'm just importing my Sass here, and I think I installed an Astro plugin for Sass, or maybe it handles it directly. I can't remember. And then I'm just going old school. I'm doing a link tag here. Where is it? Link rel. Oh no, I don't even need to do anything. Sorry, what am I saying? Just doing the import, Astro knows to include it. So right away, I got all my styling in without lifting too much. Not a lot of work there. But having said that, longer term, if I have time, and either if I switch up the design at some point, or if I really just decide, hey, why don't I break it up into, scope CSS for the components, but for now, I'm just going to keep it as is. But I just like that I could pull that in. And, a lot of the work that I did so far really was like, okay, I found like a nunchuck template. So like if I come back to VS Code for a sec, so this is the current site, but if I open up another VS Code, let's go to imdeveloper.com. So this is my current site, and let's just look for a nunchuck file. So let's look at, for example, the post here. The nunchuck file is pretty much, um, it's pretty much HTML. And then there's the syntax, like I was saying, that's more like handlebars. So basically, what I did was, as I started porting things over, was I literally copy pasted this like post.njk file, and then I came over in here, and then if I look at post.astro, I've got the code fences here for my JavaScript for the stuff I'm doing. I've got the TypeScript integration. That's another thing that I'm a big fan of TypeScript. Been using it for like since 2015. It was nice. I think 11D might have some TypeScript support. I'm not positive. I'd have to ask my coworker Zach about that. But I just really like building the components. I like having the type safety. And the other thing that, I like that Astro's done is, I've done lots of React, Preact. So, I love JSX. I like that they kept up the pattern of having props. So, just migrating things over is like, it's just more monotonous. Like, okay, copy this nunchuck file over and convert it now. But then once you get it in, it's just like, instead of passing in some variables in the nunchuck file, it's really just, okay, props, I deconstruct them. Then I've got my component at the bottom here with its markup. And then from there, I'm just using Astro syntax, but it's literally all the same markup. So it's been not too painful. Yeah, no, yeah, parasocial fix. Yeah, I haven't told Zach that I'm migrating my 11 site to Astro. Uh, I don't think he'd be too upset. I mean, honestly, I kind of just got nerd sniped having to like because like I said, like I'm on the frameworks team, so it's kind of in my best interest to kind of just be up to speed with what's going on in the framework. So uh, you know, that's my reason really, because it's like the 11D site's working totally fine. Um, and I've also pulled in NX. It's not a monorepo, but I might turn this into a monorepo at some point because I have other properties. Like if you look at my stream right now, so like you see the guest info there. Like if I hide that, it's just a web overlay uh, in the OBS. So if I just bring it back, so I might just bring in a few things and put them all in there. Um, but yeah, hopefully Zach's not really upset. I don't think he would be, but basically today, um, it's not gonna be a super long stream, probably another 30 minutes and stuff. But if I run this right now, so if I just run NTL dev, and if you're not sure what NTL is, because all the Netlify documentation, the CLI, it always says Netlify. Everybody internally uses the alias NTL. I wish we would update the documentation, but I think Netlify, it just makes it clearer maybe, but I always use NTL dev. So I'm just going to run this, and this is going to just run NX, and then it's going to uh, proxy through the Netlify dev server, except it opened in the wrong window. I'll just bring it over here. Okay, let's do a new. Now I think, what was I doing? Oh, I ran into this the other day. This was I still haven't fixed this. I'm not sure what's up. So like um I was helping my coworker Ben Hong just validate something for a Nuxt.js site for a client, and so we tested it out. Everything's good, and for some reason, when I run NTL dev, it's still serving the Nuxt site, even though I've even deleted the Nuxt site. And normally, when stuff like this happens, I'm like, okay, it's got to be a service worker. So I came in, because this happened to me all the time when I worked at Dev 2. We got rid of the service worker in Dev 2 at one point, but prior to that, if you were doing web dev on port 3000 and you happen to be contributing to the dev project as well, if you had installed it at least once, the service worker was still there for localhost 3000. So you would start up, I don't know, create React app or whatever you were doing. This like a couple of years ago, and people be like, yeah, there's a bug. Like I keep seeing the dev2 homepage, and it's totally the service worker. But the only weird thing is because like if I clear the site data here, that's gone. And like the service worker, I don't even have any registered. So I'm still really confused why this is not loading. So I think what I'll do is it's something I did on my machine, I know, but let's do this instead. I'll just go to localhost 3000 instead. So the local host here with this port, that's just proxying through the Netlify dev server, and that allows you to run your edge functions and your Netlify functions. But just for the purposes of what we're doing right now, I'm just going to go to the actual site that's being served. So this is the new Astro site, just in local dev. And if we go back to some of those posts now, so let me go back to that my popular one here, just because it's got a bunch of embeds. So, okay. Um, so I've got a mark doc error, which makes sense because there's something I haven't converted yet. But if we go back here, let's go to another one. Yeah, you see here. So I've got the embeds working now. There's a couple things. Oh yeah, I ran into this too. So I don't know if this is a mark doc thing or if it's just the way I'm doing this, but the embed here is using the fragment. So that's the YouTube's, because like if we come here to VS Code, okay, let's close this for a sec. And I think that's just the youtube.astro, is it? Which blog? NPX git ignore. Let's look up that one. I think that's the old thing that uses just the YouTube embed. Oh no, it's using embed. Okay. So let's go to embed. Where is it? Oh, it is this one. Embed. And okay, cool. So I'll put a breakpoint here. And let's start up. Let's stop this for a sec and let's go to the JavaScript debugger. I'm just going to run nxdev. I'm not going to run the netlify dev right now because I got to figure out why I'm still serving a Nux site. But this will be running and okay, it's all attached. That's good. And I'll just put a breakpoint here too. That's running. So now, okay, if I refresh this, okay, it loaded it. Why did it not hit my breakpoint? I'm in the JavaScript debugger. Oh, you know what? Let me just close a bunch of things here because there are a lot of tabs open here. Let's close that. I'll zoom down a bit here. I wonder if does the Astro component not get picked up with the debugger? Let's see here. I'll just put an explicit debugger. I don't wanted to show things in action. Oh, of course, now it's doing it. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, this is in the non-source map code. But if we come back to, I wonder why that. I I think there isn't a source map for Astro code to the actual generated code, but you can see here. So I have this markup embed astro.props.url, and if I come in here, and if I just step through the code here, so this is just Vite generating the import and stuff. But you can see here, I've got my URL, which is this YouTube URL, and then I've got my embed. So if I step into that, again, this is all the Vite code. This is the, I don't know. I'm gonna ask Ben Holmes or maybe Nate Moore on the Astro team. I could have sworn that there was support for uh, what do you call them, source maps, but maybe there isn't. So anyways, I can step into this code directly, and then I'm in my actual code here. Well, uh, it's still in the why can't I say that today? Non-source mapped version, but you can see here I'm getting the URL and then I'm just doing all the treatments I need to do. So I'm checking. So this embed detects, like, based on the host name, it'll generate the particular one. So in this case, it's a YouTube video. And so that's going to return markup. So if I look in here now, hold on a sec. It's good. It's stuck in async land here. What's going on? I guess the fragment. No. Is this it? This dot return value? I don't know. I haven't stepped through a lot of the Astro code, but oh, we could look in here. I guess props. Oh yeah, return value. Okay, sure. This is meant to just be a short, like, show you that I'm connecting to my old code there. But anyways, let's see here. Where are we at? I'm just gonna let it play through, I think. Yeah, there's no point in stepping through here right now. Don't really need to dig into the internals here. But it's hitting it up there, and then let's see here. File. Yeah. There's no Konami Todd right AB. What is it? Up, down, left, right, AB. I forget what it is. Anyways, I'm not going to go through the internals of Astro here right now, but I could have sworn there was a source map. But anyways, so that loads up there. So that's all good. I'm going to just stop this though, because if we terminal, boom, just get out of the JavaScript terminal, go back to the regular one. Let's just do nxdev for now. And yeah, wait, there's a lobster in my code editor. Oh yeah, it's creeping in. I can pop in a donut there too and a pile of poop if folks want. Cool. All right, so let me get rid of this generated code from Astro. Yeah, I really thought there was source maps, but oh hey, how's it going, Oscar? Good to see you, man. Yeah, okay, so getting back to the problem I ran into, okay, that's still running. Not this one, because that should load. I'm gonna go back to, yeah, was it where is it? 2021. I'm just going back to the one with, is it front end? Okay, yeah, this one. It should explode. That's okay. So basically, I haven't converted all the Mark Doc stuff. So I'm trying to see here. If I click on open in editor, does that actually work? It's not opening in the editor. Okay, so basically what's happening here is I'm getting this, if I zoom that in for folks, and let me just close that. I'm getting tag undefined because I probably still have an existing liquid tag that I use in dev 2, so I need to convert it into markdoc format. So let's go, this is I am developer, cool. And so let's go into that blog post. Front end developer resources, this one. Okay. And I'm just going to hide the terminal down below so we have a bit more real estate. And I'm just going to check the chat for a sec. There's a bit of chatter going on. All right. There. Seeing what's going on in Blue Sky for a second here. I tweeted it out there. I don't know, or tooted, skeeted. I forget what they call it. Okay, yeah, nothing going on there. Okay, and let's see, anything going on YouTube? Not really. It's pretty much just Twitch, which is what I was expecting. Okay, cool. So, all right, yes, screet. So I'm gonna look for. Okay, so you see here already. So I converted one of these already. So this is the YouTube video, and you see I have to have the. If I zoom that in, you have to have a closing tag in the Mark Doc, not like I had it before when it was pre Astro is how it was. So that's good. And so basically I come down here. I converted a few here. So I did it for the Twitter embed. The YouTube one's good. So basically I just got to come down in here and I'm going to find one where it's doesn't have a closing tag or it's missing a prop. So this one's good. Embed URL, it's closing tag. And the nice thing about this is it's like, yeah, okay, it's broken right now, but it's just a question of going through it. And then once I have them all working, then like I was saying, I treat the dev2 post that I pull in. I can just change it so that it adds the closing tag for MarkDoc and adds a particular property with the value, like tweet ID, for example. So I'm just going through here to see where I'll be missing it. You know what? I'll just look for this instead. There. Good. Okay, no, that's not good. Sorry. Shift F3. Okay, so the problem here is I have this link and the thing is it needs a URL or something. So I don't think I've converted this yet. So I'm not sure if embed works here. I mean, it'll work. I'm just not sure if I support link in the embed. Let's just see here. I'm just going to change a few here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good, 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 good. Okay, I think that's good now. I said good enough. All right. If I come back here. Okay, so now it loads up. And so I've got my embed there, my embed there. The one I'm looking for is, okay, so my embed actually works for the link too. So what the links are here is it's essentially, I do some logic. So like if I find, because like on dev2, you can embed your own, well, not just your own blog post, but you can embed others to give them a shout out if you want to. It's just kind of like a rich embed. In this case, I'm loading up my own one here. So I just have it styled and stuff. But the embed markdoc, I don't know if it's called a function or what. I don't want to say it's a markdoc component, but it seems to work there. And then there's one for my coworker, Suzanne. there's some issues with some CSS I have here, like there should be more spacing, but um, that's all good. So I think what I would end up doing is I can't do it for all of them, but um, if I come back here, the thing is like going forward, I would use the embed here. Like if I go to this, I would definitely use this instead of like the link, like I just switched it from. And the reason being is like when I write my blog posts on Dev 2, I always use the embed one now. I never say like the YouTube liquid tag. I always just go with the embed one because it just handles, it knows which one to generate. And it also simplifies logic for me in my own site. I can just have this one markdoc embed component or whatever you call this. And then it's all good. The problem is with my older blog posts, like they'll have like the percent YouTube and all that stuff, or the link like we saw there. So if I look for that link again, it's probably in a lot of places. Maybe it isn't, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got a good amount. So I'm gonna just undo these there, and I'm gonna come back. It's gonna complain as expected. So what we could do here at this point is let's build this link component. And also, I'm just gonna drop this. Like I said, I was supposed to have somebody on stream today. Erin, she lost her voice, so I feel really bad for her, but she's on the mend. But it was supposed to be a double header this week, so I have Mike Hardington from Ionic coming on tomorrow. I'm just gonna drop his info if you want to check that out. It's kind of funny because Mike was on the stream, I think 2 weeks ago, and like the first 30 minutes of the stream, everything was going fine. And then all of a sudden, my audio died. And Mike was a good sport. He was just talking to himself into the chat. And then he started playing guitar because I was still trying to sort out my audio. And once I did get the audio sorted out, I tried to start the stream again. But what I didn't realize, and it makes sense, is I've been using what do you call it, Restream recently for about 2 months now, and I set up like live links so that it'll be like you get the this YouTube video is going live in 4 days or whatever, and it works fine. You get a special API key for that particular live stream. I update OBS with it, and it's all good. But what happened was when my audio died and I had to stop the stream, for some reason I thought I could just restart it and it would continue on that particular live stream session with Restream, but it was telling me that the key was invalid. So basically, I could have maybe restarted things, but it would have been a lot of fidgeting around, and like 15 minutes had already gone by. And so basically rescheduled with Mike. He's such a good sport about it, but he's going to be on tomorrow. And the lesson I learned from there, well, one was an obvious one, which I probably just shouldn't have done, is like I had these software updates right before the stream. It's like, do you want to update Crisp, which is what I use for, it's like AI tool for background noise and stuff. And it works really well. It's just, I happen to update it, and I had a mandatory update for my OS for work. And then I think I updated something else literally all before the stream, and then I started it, and then it's something I don't know what wrong. The CPU went off the charts or whatever. But anyways, the main lesson I learned though, aside from the obvious one, which is don't update things before a stream, was I think I'm just gonna stop doing the setting the live, like YouTube video in 4 days kind of thing, because if I ever do run into any kind of issues with the stream again, I can't restart it with that key. So I'm just always going live now with just logged in as Restream. And then that way, if for some reason the stream tanks, I can just start up again and YouTube will start fine. And so will Twitch. So anyways, that's a long story to say, let's build out this link component. And it's been a couple weeks since I dug into this. So like if I come back to here, let's look for that embed. So I just make it there, I guess. So I'm just gonna say new file, and I'll call it devlink.astro. Close that. I'll close the sidebar in a sec here so we get some more space, but essentially I want a fragment and a code snippet. So let's add the code fences. That's my current video. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. And close that. Okay, so there's a couple things here. So for the embed, just like the embed, we're just going to have an interface with props, and I'll bring in my markdoc utility. Essentially, you know what? It's pretty much the same thing. And this is also why, uh, oh, you know what? This is what I'll do. There's no point in me just recreating the same thing again. So what I'm going to do is in my link component I just created, I'm actually going to do the embed one. So let's bring that in. That it? No, that's not it. That's what I wanted. And then the URL equals, and then this will just be URL. And yeah, I think this is the pattern I was going with because, like I said, going forward, this generic embed that I use on Dev 2 all the time now is what I'll use, is what will be pulled in all the time. And if I happen to do stuff outside of my blog post, I'll use that embed as well in the same manner. So basically, I'm just calling that embed in here, and I'm just rendering that. And then to get the URL, I just need to do, I don't even need to destructure it. I can just do astro.props.url. And then up here, what do I have to import again? Well, I need that and Astro props. Yeah, no, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's do that. And oh yeah, I need to import the embed. So let's do that. Import. That's not it at all. Good try, Copilot. Embed. Okay. There. Oh, it's a default. Is it a default? Yeah, that's right. Embed. Cool. There we go. Houston's happy. As cute as Houston is, it's actually super useful because there's been times when I look at things and I'm like, I have no idea what's wrong. But now that when I see Houston, I know there's like definitely something wrong. Like obviously, I got my linter and TypeScript squigglies and stuff, but okay, so that's good here. And then so all we'll be expecting is a URL, which is good. So I'm going to save that. It's not going to change anything right now, but dev link. Okay. And then I'm wondering, I might have to call it dev link, but let's go here. How did I pull in the other ones? Oh yeah, I have to register them. Okay. Yeah, there's a not ceremony, but there's a few steps I need to do. There's a mark doc config. So in here, okay, yeah, exactly. So I have all these existing ones I've done. So let's get one with a URL. So I'm literally going to copy this one. And let's put it at the bottom. I'm going to call it link because that's what it is in the code. Like in here, it's link here. That's what that is supposed to be. So that's what's going to be there. And then link, render, embed. Oh yeah, I don't even need to create a component. What am I saying? I can just, yeah, I don't even need the component. It's going to be link, and I need a comma there. And then I'm just calling the embed internally. Yeah, okay, so that'll be good enough. So we don't even need that. Where did I put that? This guy here. I don't need this dev link actually. And what did I change in here? Okay, that just looks like some prettier stuff happened. Okay, I don't need this Webpack secrets thing. Okay, so basically the main change I've done here is this. Like I said, this is where you define your markdoc config. And in here, these are the existing, okay, they're called tags. I wasn't sure what they were called. They're tags. So they have the embed tag, Twitter, CodePen, YouTube. You saw a few of those, the YouTube and Twitter, and the embed. I've got this new one, link, and the render here is just going to render the embed Astro component. Because, like I said, that embed one is a generic one, and it will render accordingly. So now if I come in here, and basically if I just make some tweaks, if I do URL equals, and these are things I'll have to handle when I start pulling in dev2 blog posts again. I'll just have to make sure I format them in this particular manner. But there's that one, and then let me look for the other one. Link. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'll change that. Oh, I guess there's a few. URL equals, and let's see if there's another one. Is that it? This one was another one. Oh, maybe I didn't convert it. Okay. Blog failed to validate. Okay, what's it not liking? Okay, well, it's saying the tag is undefined. Okay, so it's not. I wonder if I need to restart the server because I modified the mark doc config. Let's start that up again. Let's do nx dev. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay. Okay, that's all it was. So I just had to reboot, sorry, I had to restart the server for the mark doc config to get pulled in. So these are all the things there. Again, I've got some CSS where I've got to space this a bit better. But if I come down here now, these are the things that I was rendering, and that is the link there. Because if I all of a sudden do this, where is it? Mark doc. Much just for fun. I'm just going to rename this to YOLO. And let's start the server again. If I refresh this, it's going to complain about tag being undefined. And just to show that it really is that there, if I come here and I just change %link to percent YOLO, YOLO there. So let's replace. When I come here, now it's going to load. And then I have those embeds there. So it's all good there. So I think I just have to keep going through there and doing stuff like that. I'm going to just undo this. And okay, yeah, tags undefined, that's expected. So if I come back here and put it back to link, let's restart it, reload. And then we're back in business, and I'm just using a link now, and it's still there. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and we're about at time there, so I think that's pretty good. Didn't do too much here, but it's still helpful for the initiative here. I'm just gonna put this back to normal size here, just so I can commit some things. So there's that, and yeah. So okay, so let's add that. What did I change in here? Okay, it just looks like prettier kicking in. All right, cool. So let's do that. So let's do G. I use, here, I'll zoom this in just so folks can see. So I use G for Git. I'm lazy. It's my alias. Then I have a GitHub alias chore, which basically adds chore : to the start of my commit message. And or you know what, this it's a feature, I guess. Added mark doc link tag, a custom link tag. That's good there. And what else? That's just prettier in action, or not prettier. Is that prettier? Yeah, no, that is prettier in action. I guess I haven't run it on the code base. I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm gonna push that change up, and oh yeah, I'm on another branch right now. That's why. So the live site's still loading properly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for hanging, peeps. I'm gonna pretty much done my lunch break. Like I said, I'll drop it again. Mike Hardington is going to be joining me tomorrow from Ionic. I've never played around with Ionic, so I'm pretty excited about that. I know Todd, if he's here still, is also pretty excited about Ionic. So check that out. And next week, there's a few people on here. Let me, since we got a minute here, if I go to my schedule, dev.fyi schedule. Do, 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 do. Yeah, yeah. I expect nothing but heckling Todd. Sorry, not dev FYI. That is taken. It's iDev FYI. It's just like a short URL I snatched up. Okay, I still got it's definitely the service worker. I think I'm gonna just have to disable the service worker. Let's go to storage, clear site data, and it's good. Okay, anyways, all I'd say is just want to show you who's coming up on the stream. So Mike tomorrow, like I mentioned, and then I have Mr. Lobster himself, Todd, who's in the chat right now. I'll be hanging with Todd next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UTC. And then also on the Thursday, I've got Kevin Ball, aka K Ball. So if you ever listen to JS Party, he's one of the hosts on there. He started a coaching business, so we're going to just talk about coaching. So pretty excited about that. Yeah, and definitely don't trust that Todd guy, as Todd said in the chat. And anyways, there's all kinds of other great guests. I'll drop the schedule if you want to check it out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for hanging and putting up with me. And I will see you tomorrow with Mr. Ionic himself, Mike. Later, friends.